Right, we are back. Hello and welcome to the Satoshi Society YouTube channel. My name is AJ, one of the co-hosts here. And today we are going to go through some of the technicals. And I just want to warn you, the technicals aren't looking too good. We're going to start off with the traditional market, and we're going to look at the DXY as well. And then we'll go on to crypto as well. So stick around for that. But first, please make sure you smash a like on this video. I do really appreciate it. It does really help me and the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content for you as well and this technical analysis. So getting straight on into the video then, let's take a look at the S&P 500 because we are relying on the S&P 500 quite a lot at the moment for crypto, because crypto does follow the traditional market and we are seeing a dump within the traditional market. We are breaking supports. We've got rejections from previous supports, and we're coming down to those next support levels. So let's take a quick look at the S&P 500 and see what's going on. So what's happening with the S&P 500? Well, we broke towards the downside of this daily support here. I did say if we were going to break towards the downside here, the likelihood of it is we were going to come down to this previous swing low here, which is sat at around $3,670. We did actually come and test that almost to the exact dollar. Maybe it did touch to the dollar. But yeah, we are testing that level right now. And obviously we are going to use it as support. But because we are seeing this rejection from this previous support and we are seeing the price come down, it isn't good for crypto. It isn't good for Bitcoin. It isn't good for the whole general crypto markets, because Bitcoin does tend to follow the traditional market. And if we do see the traditional market continue to push towards the downside, we are most definitely going to see the crypto market follow that as well. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that we are looking very, very similar to the run-up of the 2008 crash. So just to go over it very quickly, we have the 200 MA, which is this orange line here, rejection from that down to this major support level, which has been previous support and resistance. We broke that, and then we saw the market crash. And we did actually go a lot further than this. The chart isn't the chart. I'm not able to move the charts to show you, but it did go a lot further down than as you can see on the chart here. So what we are seeing is the exact same scenario: the rejection from the 200 MA right up here, and then we come down to this support level, which, as you can see, is looking very similar to that 2008 one. We got the resistance here, as you can see, resistance right there, and then we have the previous support back here as well, and you can see that on this chart as well. So previous support, and all the way back here, previous support as well. So we're looking very, very similar to that 2008 run up before the crash. Now, we have broken this level. I did tell you if we broke that level, we'd come down to this level here. Now, if we break this level, I do think we are going to see that crash. I do think we're going to see a similar crash, maybe not as bad, but with everything that's going on fundamentally in the world and globally, it is looking quite likely that we could see a pretty similar crash. Now, obviously, this is not good for our portfolios, but it is great for buying opportunities. Now, it's always good to have some cash on the side to be able to buy these dips, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Now, why are we seeing the traditional market crash? Well, obviously, that's because of what happened during the FOMC meeting. The Fed came out with a 75 basis point rate hike, and that is obviously going to crash the market because it just shows us that the Fed does not have the inflation under control as of yet. And that is also pushing up the DXY. The DXY is also pushing up, which is why we are also seeing the traditional market and the crypto market dump as well. So I did tell you if we stayed above this support level here, then we were most likely going to come up to my target at $112. That target has now been hit. We've broken above it, which is even more bearish. And we've actually come down, and we did test it as a bit of support as well. This wick here tested it as perfect support, literally to the dollar. And we are getting a bounce off that as of right now. And we are seeing the price of the DXY come up even further. This is incredibly bad that we are above this 112. If we continue to stay above this $112 level, the next level we could be looking at is the $120 level. That is a very, very possible level that we could come up to. And of course, if we saw the DXY come up to 120, we would most likely see the traditional market crash even more, okay, which would confirm that if we break this, then we are going to get that crash. So if we continue to push on the DXY, that confirms that we are most likely going to get that crash in the traditional markets. But if we also continue to pump on the DXY, it's also going to confirm that Bitcoin is going to drop a lot more as well, potentially all the way down to that $12,000 target that we do have. So the DXY pumping is obviously really not good for the traditional or the crypto markets. We're also looking at the bonds. So I showed you this chart, was it yesterday? Maybe yesterday or the day before. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday though. The bonds are pushing as well. Ben has showed you how the Bitcoin chart and the bonds chart is very inverse. So whenever the bonds go up, we see Bitcoin go down. Whenever we see the bonds go down, we see Bitcoin go up. That's exactly the same scenario with the DXY. So over the course of this year, we have seen that the DXY has been in a very, very big uptrend. You can very clearly see it here. DXY has been in a very, very big uptrend. Now we know that over the course of this year, Bitcoin has been in a very, very big downtrend. So we know that when the DXY pushes, the Bitcoin chart goes down, the Bitcoin price comes down. And this is why I am preaching this to you, because if we continue to see the DXY go up, we're going to continue to see Bitcoin come down and potentially to those targets. So let me just have a look at this question. Where is the next level of support if it breaks, though, this support on the S&P 500? Okay, so looking at the S&P 500, looking back at the S&P 500, the next level that I would potentially be looking at is at the approximate $3,230 level. Why this level? Well, if we have a look back here, we could actually possibly even move it all the way back here as well. So the reason I would be looking at this level as the next level, if we were to break this support level here, is because we have used this level as support. So you can see support right here after the break towards the upside, resistance here, and then support here after the break towards the upside here, and a bit of support after straight after we broke this previous resistance. So yeah, this is the next level I would be looking at the S&P 500 coming down to 3,230 approximately if we broke this level here at $3,670. So not looking good for the S&P 500. If we did come down to that level, then we would most likely see Bitcoin have a big crash as well. So we just have to be aware of that. Now, for what you've all been waiting for the crypto charts, let's take a look at Bitcoin to start off with. So we will start off with, going to have a look at the shorter time frame chart. So Bitcoin is currently sat at $18,650 approximately. Now, why have we seen this? Well, why have we seen this bit of a pullback? Obviously, the DXY is pushing, so we are going to see Bitcoin come down. But we've also come into a major resistance level at this golden pocket from this swing high here to this swing low here. This is the golden pocket for this time frame, and we have found resistance at this level. It has also come into play with previous resistance. Resistance with the I'm losing my speech here. The visible range, the fixed range. Sorry, not the visible range. So if we move the fixed range from, let's go to the 30-minute, and let's go with this time period here. So we go from the high to the low here. We can see that we are also in confluence with the value area high. Now, the value area high is going to act as resistance as well. So we do have a bit of confluence here. Now, this would have been a great trade to take, a great short position to take here because we are getting confluence. However, this was at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. So I was asleep at this time. So unfortunately, I did not take this short trade, but it would have been a nice short trade. So looking at the bigger time frames then, this is what we really want to be looking at. Now, on the daily, we aren't really respecting the support. Right now, you can see we broke towards the downside and then we broke back above the support, and now we're seeming to break back below it. So we're not really respecting this support level as of right now. So I'm not really paying attention to this chart right now, but I mean this support level right now. I am focusing more on the weekly time frame support. But this chart, what I want to look at is this rising wedge. We know this rising wedge has broken towards the downside right here, and we know this rising wedge is not rising wedge, sorry, this bear flag, sorry. We know this bear flag has broken towards the downside, and we know this bear flag is still valid. So what we can see is that the target for this is actually at around $12,000. That target at $12,000 also lines up with the target if we break 19,000, because if we did break 19,000, I would expect the price to come down to this major support here at $12,000. So right now, it is looking pretty likely. It's looking more bearish than bullish at the moment, because we are seeing the DXY push, and because we are seeing the S&P, the traditional market, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq react bearishly to the DXY going up. And as we know, that's what happens whenever the DXY goes up. Traditional and crypto market goes down, and vice versa. So we are actually seeing Bitcoin have another test of the break towards the downside of this major support level. So if you've been watching, again, if you've been watching this channel for a number of weeks now, you will know that I have said if we do break this major support, it's looking pretty likely that we are going to come down to this next major level of support at approximately $12,000. So why do I think this? Well, because there is just no support between the 12,000 and the 19,000. Now, of course, there is support on the shorter time frames, without a doubt, but on the weekly time frame, there is no support. And the higher the time frames, the stronger the technical analysis is. And what we can see is that whenever we've broken a major level, we haven't really traded, we haven't really consolidated between two major levels. We've just seen a big move to the next level and then a big move back down to the next level. So we can, for an example here, we broke towards the upside, found support, and we found a area of resistance here. Okay, after rejection from that level, we came straight down to this major level, previous support. After finding support there, we came straight up to the previous resistance from back here, and then a rejection from there, straight back down to the previous support here, and then a break of that. Where do we go? Straight back down to the major level, the next major level, which of course is the previous high from 2017. So whenever we break a major support, what we tend to see is that the price is just crashing straight down to the next major support or pumping straight up to the next major resistance. So from looking at this chart, very, very simple TA, just support and resistance, but very simple TA. If we do break the support, the likelihood of it is we are most likely going to come down to $12,000. Of course, I've said this, that I don't think we will break $12,000 because it is major support, because as you can see, major resistance previously. We've respected it really, really well in the past. So I wouldn't expect that to be break. Yes, to break. Maybe we could have a break towards a candle break towards the downside of the support. Maybe it's 10,000, but 12,000 is that target I'm looking at if we do break towards the downside of the support. Now, we have 2 days, 8 hours left of this candle. I will go live as close as possible to this week and to the end of this weekly candle close. So obviously Sunday evening, I will try and go live for you as late as possible so we can get a good understanding of whether the candle is going to break towards the downside or not. But we do tend to see that the crypto market follows the traditional market. We know that. Now, obviously, the traditional market is not open over the weekend. So we are going to see the market close in around 4 hours and 45 minutes. So potentially, if this does not break towards the downside today, okay, maybe over the weekend, we could just see some slight consolidation on the shorter time frames for Bitcoin. And then maybe next week, we could potentially get that break towards the downside of this major support level here if we don't get it this week. So my fear is that if we do break towards the downside here, we could the Wi-Fi cut out there for a minute. So what I was talking about was basically, if we don't get the break towards the downside of this next support level here on the, we might not get the break towards the downside on the Bitcoin chart on this weekly chart, this major support level here. Potentially we could, but if we don't get the break towards the downside over the course of this last candle here, for Friday, then potentially over the course of the weekend, we won't see any major moves for Bitcoin. We don't tend to see major moves over the weekend anyway for Bitcoin. So over the course of the weekend, I would just expect some shorter term consolidation. And then maybe next week we could break towards the downside if we do not break towards the downside this week. So yeah, if we don't break towards the downside of this support level here this week, then the chances are we could continue to hold this support this weekend for Bitcoin. And then maybe next week, if we do get the break towards the downside of the support on the S&P 500 on the traditional markets, then potentially next week could be the week that we break towards the downside of the support level. But of course, over the weekend, we could see the price come down and we could break this support level here on the weekly chart. So looking at the market, having a quick summary, it's not looking too good. Okay, we have the DXY, which is continuing to push towards the upside. And we know if when this pushes, we see traditional market and the crypto market go down. S&P 500 have come down to my target. If we break this support level here at $3,670, the likelihood of it is we could come down to the $3,230 level, which, as you can see here, has been previous support and previous resistance as well. So that's the next major target that I would be looking at for the S&P. But if we did see that, if we did see the S&P continue to dump, then we are definitely going to see Bitcoin break this support level here. And we are most likely going to see Bitcoin come down to these lower targets. You know, we've got the CVDD, which I've showed you in the past. That's currently sat at $15,600 approximately. That is sort of the next target we are looking at if we break towards the downside of this. Then if we break towards the downside of that, then we're looking at that $12,000 target. If you don't know what the CVDD is, basically it's a moving average, which has actually never been broken before. So the past 3 bear markets, the price has come down and tested that CVDD. I might be able to bring it up for you quickly. I'll have to look at it on here. I've got it saved on here somewhere. Let's bring that up for you. So if I can share my screen. Here we go. So this is on Wooble. If we go to charts and we have a look at Bitcoin price models, we can see this pink line here. So this pink line is a CVDD. So as we can see, it's currently sat at $15,655 approximately. Of course, it's a moving average, so we are going to see this vary a little bit. But what I want to take out of this and what I want to bring to your attention is that we've never actually broken towards the downside of this before. So just getting rid of that blue one, we can see right here back in, when was this? Back in 2018, December of 2018, we established the bottom for that 2018 bear market at the CVDD, as you can see very clearly right there. We did this once again in 2015, I believe. Yeah, January 2015. As you can see, perfectly established the bottom of the bear market at that CVDD. Coming back even further, we can see back in 2011, November 2011, we did also establish the bottom at the CVDD, as you can see right there. So the last 3 bear markets, we have established the bottom at the CVDD. Now, it gives us a very strong sort of prediction that we could potentially find support at this CVDD and not actually break below that. So that is currently sat at $15,655. However, if we were to break that, I would expect the price to come down to $12,000. Now, $12,000, you know, it's not an unrealistic target at all. And people say that, you know, the price, no, it will never come down to 12,000. It will never come down to 10,000. All we've got to look at, though, is previous bear cycles. So from the previous bear market, we can see that the price came down almost 84%. Okay, how far are we from the all-time high at approximately 69,000? We have come down 74%. We can still come down, okay, all the way down to approximately 84%. That will bring us down to 11,000. Okay, we've also previously, I think it was the 2014-2015 bear markets. Yes, we came down almost 87%. Okay, so if we came down another 80, if we came down to 87%, you know, that could even bring us to $9,000. I'm not saying that $9,000 is a target, but it's a possibility. Okay, so if we break this major support, 12,000 would be that target, but I would be looking at the CVDD as a support level as well. Potentially, we could find support. We could establish the bottom at the CVDD because it has established the bottom for the past 3 bear markets. But we'll see. We'll see what happens if we get to that stage. If we do break that, though, 12,000 would be that next target, and I don't expect a candle break below 12,000. Maybe we could get a wick down below to 10,000, maybe even 9,000 if we want to push it, but I don't expect a break below 12,000, and I would think 12,000 would be the candle close bottom. I do think that. Now, obviously, you can never predict the bottom. I'm just sort of roughly estimating that around that guesstimate. My guesstimate is around this area, so sort of between $11,300 and $12,200, around that vicinity. We're going to get sort of the candle bottom for this bear market, I do think. Yes, we can get a wick lower, obviously, but I don't think we will get a candle break below this level. And if we do, we could see a lot more pain. More than we already have seen. So yeah, that's everything I've got for you. Not looking good, as I said. DXY is continuing to push. S&P 500 is continuing to dump. So we are most likely going to see Bitcoin continue to dump towards the downside. And obviously, Ethereum will follow that as well. Ethereum, haven't really done much TA on that recently because we still have this price target for this rising wedge here. It's broke towards the downside. It didn't get invalidated. We came and tested this resistance level here, but it didn't invalidate this rising wedge. And we have moved lower. And the next price target is that $1,000 level. So I'm still waiting for Ethereum to come down to $1,000. If we break that support and Bitcoin breaks that support level, we are most likely going to see Ethereum drop a lot lower than 1,000. And yeah, Bitcoin could come down to 15,600. If it breaks that, then we're looking at 12,000. So yeah, the general market is not looking too good right now. So yeah, we have to just wait, and obviously we always want to have a bit of cash on the side to make sure we're making the most of these great buying opportunities. To be honest with you, I never thought I would be able to buy Bitcoin at $12,000 again, and now it is looking pretty likely that we could see Bitcoin at 12,000 and be buying Bitcoin at 12,000 again. So yeah, that's everything I've got for you today. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please make sure you smash a like on this video. I do really appreciate it, and it does really help me out. It is free as well. So please make sure you smash that like button. And I will see you tomorrow for the next stream. I'll probably go live a little bit earlier in the morning, because I am going out in the afternoon, because to be fair, I haven't been out in a while, so gonna make the most of the weekends. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow morning, probably around 9 or 10 o'clock UK time. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash that like button, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, turn that bell notification on so you never miss one of our live streams. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. See you later, guys.